Hey everyone, this is Kobe Rex with the captain of your wealth ship. I'm really excited today because we're going to be talking a little bit about the peaceful home purchase pathway and not getting spooked in the home buying process. So what I wanted to start with today is talking a little bit about the 3 areas that I think are really important to helping you in that process to not get spooked. So let's talk a little bit about my philosophy and how this can be the pathway to your success. So first, most important thing that I'm seeing is I want this to be simple for you. If you want to be the guy that feels like he has to go to your friend's gathering and talk about how you were wheeled and dealed and made it so complicated and you fought for this, then you can go do that. And I'm really excited for you to be successful wherever you are. But for me, I'm really interested in for the person that is a first-time home buyer, just wants to be able to get into their first home. That's really what I'm passionate about. So what I want to do is I want to talk about on the peaceful side for the home mortgage side, we got to have 3 things. I consider it a 3-legged stool. So we got your income, got your assets, and you got your credit. So basically if you put all those 3 together, you have a good application where we can move forward. So what I would recommend is that we're going to go into as much depth as I can in this presentation today. I know a lot of you guys are listening on the road or different other places. And if you want to have a more focused time with me, I'm actually going to be doing a workshop next week, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, during most people's lunch hour at 1 p.m. Eastern time. We're just going to go through each of these different areas individually and go much deeper and actually look at your own credit report. There's not going to be any charge for the event. We'd just love to have you join us. So let's get talking about the 3 legs of the stool. So I actually set them in reverse order, so we're going to start with credit first. So credit to me is super important. I'm not the guy here that says don't have credit. Most of you will probably have credit, either just a little baby credit card or something by the time we get here. But let's talk about what we can do that is really going to make your life easy. So the first thing we got to do is definitely keep those the credit card balances down. Those are really what's going to hit you the hardest, especially if the utilization is a lot higher. So whenever you're going through that process, sometimes there's what's called a rapid rescore, where basically we can actually, if you've paid down a balance, we can lower that in our calculations, which sometimes increases your credit score significantly. I had somebody the other day only had 1 Discover card, $1,700, that I was able to pay that down and it increased the rate 100 points. So that's huge. Okay, so then next thing, if you have any issues with a dispute with a creditor, I would highly suggest that you work with a professional company to dispute it and not do it on your own, because what looks worse than a disputed record is to just be sitting there without any resolution, because they're going to keep dragging your credit down. I have a team over at Mortgage Ready. Both Andy and Chelsea are great over there, and I would love to help you get hooked up with them if that's what you feel like might be a limiting factor for your home ownership. So those are my 2 big things that I would recommend. And then if we go down further into assets, so one of the biggest questions I always get for a lot of first-time home buyers are, what are your biggest down payment assistance programs? The best down payment assistance programs are going to be your own cash, your own assets, and any gift funds you can get from family. So basically those allow you to receive the best rates. You don't have additional mortgages, and the programs typically have it's just easier to get a loan done. So being able to use those different things you have is definitely the first place to start. Then, if for some reason that isn't an option, there are lots of different down payment assistance programs depending on the state you're in. So a lot of states, even there's actually some programs that are actually affiliated with some Indian tribes that can be used in any state. And there are lots of specific housing authorities in every other state that have their own programs and even have additional grants based on specific counties. So basically with these programs, they offer you different levels of assistance, and they have different types of things. So some of them are grants, some of them are second mortgages. Something I would highly recommend if you have any questions about down payment assistance, that is going to be one of our biggest topics we go over in our workshop, that I want to answer those questions for you. But today I want you to know that they are available, because basically for your loan, we need to cover a down payment. For FHA, that's 3.5%. For conventional, typically it's 3%. And then you got to pay closing costs. So got to escrow for your insurance and your taxes. So basically 1/12 of every month you have to pay for your annual taxes and insurance, and then that's front loaded in closing costs. So basically all that stuff, there's about 5,000 to 7,000 in fees a lot of times every time you're doing a loan. That'll be in addition to that down payment, and those down payment assistance in your own assets and gifts can be used to do that. Additionally, some employers and other fund places do offer programs that allow you to receive that employer help as well, which is kind of a cool thing. Okay, last leg of the stool. Let's talk about income. So income, typically what we're looking at is your W-2 earnings. A lot of times if you have your own business and you have like Schedule C, we'll look at that. But most of the time I'm talking to the people of the W-2s of the world. You do not have to be the same job for the last 2 years, but we do want to see that 2-year employment history. And if that income went down for any reason, we definitely need to know what that is. Additionally, if for some reason that income level isn't what we need it to be, there is a thing called what's called a non-occupying co-borrower. So a non-occupying co-borrower could be like a parent that doesn't live with you, but basically is on the loan with you. This can allow you to have additional buying power because it lowers your debt-to-income ratio, which allows you to qualify for a bigger house. Definitely a strategy we'll go into on day 3 of the workshop. Not something I want you to worry about today. This is just the high-level details we're going through. And then basically, with all those different programs, having your assets, credit, and your income all in the right positions, you're kind of on your way. I feel like any other questions you really have about any of that, we can definitely answer in the workshop coming up. If you have any questions, because this will be on YouTube, if you have any questions, you can feel free to leave those in the comments. But yeah, just so, like I said, I am going to be running a 3-day workshop. It's going to be a great day, so I just want to give you some high-level highlights of what we're going to be doing day 1. We're actually going to go into your real credit report that I pull as a lender, and we're actually going to go through it, see if there's any issues. If there's not, great. If there is, we will work through them instead of just telling you. A lot of people will come to me because I get an online lead and they just want a quick solution, but the quick solution could have been done 6 months ago if they would have known what they needed. And then day 2, we'll be talking about down payment options, making sure that you understand what down payment assistance you might be qualified for, or finding those people and having a plan to fund your down payment and your closing costs. And then finally, day 3, I'm really excited for that because sometimes we are seeing that houses are expensive. So being a little bit creative to get ways to qualify for houses is going to be huge. So putting all 3 of those together, I really think that we can put together a really cool plan where you'll leave the 3-day workshop confident that you know the action plan that you need to take for you and your family to be on your way, on the pathway to a peaceful home purchase. So really appreciate you guys watching today. It's been fun getting to kind of share my passion as someone that's done this for the last 7 years. It's something that that's very near and dear to my heart. So I hope you enjoyed this presentation, and I'm looking forward to seeing you in the comments and in our workshops. Have a great day.